September 1st, 2023. Riff Raff showed up today. Oh, stereo driving by. You know, with everything. And they still keep it up. They have that low of IQ. They've already made fun of the FBI June 7th, 23 for falling for it. FBI agent John actually fell for the stunning tapes before. Oh, come on now. It was only a stunt. It was a very satanic stunt. Had me stalked, drugged, beat, raped, photoshopped, drugged up and told to say stuff, never talk to anybody. It's very satanic stunt. You mean FBI agent John actually fell for that? It was only a stunt. You're kidding. June 7th, 23, Walmart 62 by the front bathrooms. 10:11 in the morning. November 18th, 22. November 18th, 22, Walmart 62 again by the front bathrooms. They still have it. 2 to 6 p.m. Eric comes in and confesses all the tapes before me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people trying, they fell for it. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, and they still fell for it. ID'd November 24th, 22. We're nurse at Mercy Medical to the Lady Canton officer. We all heard that Eric make fun of us for falling for this. Nobody better say a word to her again. I said, well, you know, the agent that was bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Okay. And then he's made fun of him June 30th, 23 at a party, how he made fools out of all these people and they all helped out and fell for a stunt. People were screaming about it in Hartville and Akron. And yet they still show up. They do realize, who are they? They are the human traffickers. Where do they get their money? They sold women and children for sex slaves and to be murdered. They're serial killers. It's a new sextortion scheme, human trafficking scheme, breaking in people's homes, stalking them, photoshopping, break in. The poor victim wakes up with bruises they can't explain, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out in a severe personal infection. And they're I went to all my family physicians. I don't know what's wrong with me. My heart's racing through my neck. My head's pounding. I got all these bruises. Did you fall? No. Maybe you're becoming anemic. Here I'm being drugged, being raped. Severe swollen personal infection, could hardly go to the bathroom. Pills for it, cream, stuff for headaches, nauseousness. And here I'm being human trafficked out of my own house. And they're laughing. They got away with it. It's a human trafficking scam. What happened? What do you think happened to the drug dealers from the 70s and 80s? Do you think they stopped being drug dealers in the 90s, the 2010s? Or do you think they just grew old being drug dealers? They grew old being drug dealers. You know, I was talking to my friend that used to work at the prosecutor's office. He said, you know, human trafficking's $1 billion industry. They grab people, they sell them for sex slaves and to be murdered to these perverts. And they pay them to grab them. Where do they think they got the money to follow me around, harass me? They took blood money. I was up at Fred Martin's in Barberton on Tuesday, this last Tuesday. Actually, a Wednesday, I'll take that back. I was in Fred Martin's in Barberton on Wednesday. I'm sitting there, 2 guys walk behind me in the waiting room. I can't believe she's just sitting there. He said we all got a phone call that she was going to be here. Her ex-husband's part of a serial killing group. I can't believe she's just sitting there. Was she part of it? He said no. He said they even tortured her. I seen him and I helped keep an eye on her. Okay. There was an Indian couple come over and sit beside me. Their baby's looking at me, so I talked to it for a minute. The guy picks up a phone and there's some of the back cars driving by. I can see him through the windows. He said, are you sure you don't want to come in and meet her? She's fine with us. And then was talking about different things. Okay. Might want to find out who they are and who they were talking to. Yeah. My phone's bugged. Yesterday, I was up in Akron, sitting outside with my client. One of the old drug dealers. Couple. They're all married couple. Drive by. I can't believe she's just sitting there. He said, what is she going to do at this point? Drove back around and looked at me. Dave had several girlfriends up there. There was Michelle. There was Lauren. There was a heavyset blonde girl with a big chest, drove a blue car. there was a pretty brown hair girl. He was also dating Katie from Lighthouse. In high school, he had 17 girlfriends. He still brags about it, how he manipulated 17 women at one time. They all found out, they were sitting around talking one day and found out they were all dating the same guy. He manipulated 17 women. They all broke up with him. He got away with it for a while. I want you to think about that. I was talking to my neighbors. My neighbors even seen him. Seen that heavyset blonde girl. Okay? Drive by. Okay? Her parents were one of the ones harassing me. It's a big human trafficking scam. These old drug dealers up in Ravenna are now breaking in private homes. They're stalking people. They're breaking in and drugging them, lying they have sodium pentothal reports, running a big scam, amnesia drugging them up, telling them to say something, stabbing them in their sleep, leaving, and then having the drug cartel guys drug, beat, and rape them. They're human trafficking people out of their own homes. And then photoshopping's asinine. Clicking and pasting a shower scene, laughing they did it. March 2nd to 3rd, 21. They put clips together, made a porn. It's not her. It's on May 12th, 22. Bubba's Restaurant. They found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room because what you're describing is showering. Ha ha ha. She figured out what they did. Well, I was talking to my neighbor, Amy. Now, she's heard them admit to framing me on March 24th, 22, 1:30. An old man was yelling at 3 parking lots away. And it was echoing. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know, I feel bad about everything. Those people even raped her. There's a big, tall, heavy-set white guy with brown hair. Little old white man's giving him hell. Amy's like, called me. She's like, Karen, I thought my husband was loud. I could hear that clear in my apartment. She would hear them chant about how they would drug me and tell me to say stuff and taunt me. And I never talked to anybody. Okay? Well, May 25th, 21, Wendy's crew in Louisville, they were talking about the church people breaking in before drugging her and telling her, say she's a weirdo molester. That's not funny. They did that. Okay? Well, that heavy-set blonde girl in a blue car came down like that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday after May 25th, 21, about 6 p.m., 3 to 6 p.m. at night. Okay? On Fairlawn Street. Screamed out to those drug dealers, are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession. Well, we just found out that they drugged her and told her what to say before, and it's echoing down the street. I was talking to Amy yesterday. She said, me and my husband heard that clear in our apartment. It was echoing into the next street, how she was screaming at him. It's a new extortion group where old drug dealers trying to make a fast buck, breaking in private homes, date rape drugging them, amnesia drugging them, telling them to say stuff, photoshopping shower scenes, trying to extort money. It's extortion. So, trafficking videos of people in bed, selling them on porn sites. They're also taping little kids going potty. They're obtaining and dispensing kiddie porn. They're the old drug dealers that grew old. If you pull back the facade of who they are, they're just old drug dealers. Some of the main drug dealers from Florida were like 70s, bragging they were human trafficking people. About 3 or 4 old white guys. My oldest son, John, even seen one in Minerva Grinders. What was it? January, February, March of 19. Around noon, we go there. Alex and his group, Judge Pete's son, their group of drug dealers in the back. There's an old lady and an older white guy sitting there talking about him and grabbing people and making them prostitute the rest of their life. Sitting next to me. And then the tall white guy with the black hair walks around us. John's seen him. And they sit down and talk about a field south of Ravenna to cut up my face and stab me to death. That's where she'll die. Dave told us he tore up her shoulder. I don't think Dave's smart enough to get a burner phone. They go back through his phone records. They may actually find the kidnapper. He can't hire a drug cartel to drug and frame me. See, that's where it comes down to those agents. Now, they already sold the video of the agent, those agents laughing at me for being a human trafficking victim on a recorded line. where I tell him that someone told on me the night before. It was him. It was verified by officers. It was the agent that called me back because there was officers up there in uniform. Before I called him back, after I called the hotline, that he went up and told on me. Dave told Danny he talked to him. Okay? He was calling me a liar. I told him about the guy that threatened to knife me. Calls me a liar. I told him that he tried to kidnap me before. Terry let me tape her with her permission. She's seen him. He is a known serial killer. He is a kidnapper for the human traffickers. I'm describing him, and he's calling me a liar. Was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. You don't know, you say you're lying, or I'll put you in jail. Fine, whatever. Okay? Then he tells me, he bullies me into more false statements under arrest. He can't do that. There's badgering laws. Why would the FBI help a person like you? They're going to try to kill me. So, they've tried to kill me. I had 4 attempts on my life before that. So, okay? Give me a real reason. The guy yells out, well, we could use Pete's tape, but we're with yourself. It's a shower scene I'm washing. I don't even know who Pete is. And they're laughing at me for the man that's raping me and stalking me on a recorded line instead of arresting him. And I said, what are you talking about? I told the other guy to cut it out. She don't know. Why didn't I know? Because the idiot had broken in, date rape, drugged me, told me to say stuff, left me bruised and infected and beaten. And they're laughing at a human trafficking victim. They sold it. It backfired on them. People are like, none of this is funny. The FBI laughed at her for being human trafficked. And she didn't realize what was happening to her. And they're scamming me. And they're laughing at the victim. They're scamming on a recorded line. What do you think of that? Stop. She don't know. Give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law was CIA. Worked under Dick Cheney. I describe him. Give him his name. Find out. List your informant. Comes with $5,000 a month. I'm opening an account today. You'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again. I'll make sure no man touches you. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad. And even when you tell someone, I'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything ever again for work in this case. You'll have that money to live on. Then he'd turn around and threaten me if I told. I talked to my friend from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. He started giggling until he almost cried. He said the only thing legal on that phone call he did was list you an informant with money and immunity. He can't ask you to stay quiet. He's just a higher officer. I said, well, they already knew. He said, I don't care. He said, it takes a sitting judge. And they can only do it during like a sequestered jury or a grand jury to take your freedom of speech away. He don't have that kind of authority. He was just bullying you. And he, as far as him trying to bully you into false statements, he can't do that either. And the police know they can't go along with it. Now, the guys that watched me, because he had an officer talk to Dave, they have December 2nd, 22 at noon, my phone's tapped from being an FBI informant. They said he stole the money the first day at noon. I never got my money. I found out a couple of Tuesdays back when the main officer over the case that they left me there. All these people that have been down here saying they're FBI, they're not FBI. They are drug dealers in the drug cartel running a big scam. There's at least one officer watching me because are you interested in working Karen around the house? What's that? One of us have to watch or listen to her every day. And I found out he was telling people not to help me and just let them hurt me. While the drug cartel was human trafficking down here, and they came together, the California group, the Texas group, the Florida, the Michigan, and the New York, all are going rampant down here, and I'm in the middle of all of them, and they're abusing the hell out of me and using the FBI case he opened, and he stole the money. As of today, he stole $295,000. I looked it up in a witness protection program. The only thing they can put in there for legally for a judge to sign is your money, your immunity. They can add housing, living expenses, and a medical card. They can't. And like my friend from the prosecutor's office, no sitting judge would sign a court order taking your freedom of speech away. They'd go to the Department of Justice, would put them in jail. He was just bullying you. It could only come with those other items. You can tell whoever you want, you feel comfortable, and they can't open their mouth. He was just bullying you. He stole the money and let the drug cartel run wild down here. And left me in hell. And I almost died several times. And they laugh at these people, how they fool them. They're still the drug dealers from Ravenna, the old couples. They're 70s, 60s, and 70s. Part of the drug dealers up there scamming people, breaking in, date rape, drugging them, beating, raping them, human trafficking them out of their own homes. And they don't know what's happening to them. You know, when I found out what they were actually doing, I went and told my doctor, the nurse at Altman Family Physician, I said I was seen for migraine headaches, throwing up, heart racing, almost passing out, severe bruising, and a severe swollen personal infection in the summer of 2018. Yes. I said I found out that I was being drug beat and raped. And that's where all the bruises were coming, why I was so sick and the headache. She's like, your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal. So were these people. So what the hell were they laughing at? People have been furious from Belden all the way up to Akron. The FBI laughed at her for being human trafficked. And they laughed at the FBI for falling for her. Their scam. It was done by the drug cartel. What were they thinking? An easy sap they could steal from. I'm going to upload this.